Hey guys, I'm Yaiko Black, aka Ms. Muse, and today I will be reviewing the Owl PX paddle. This is not a new paddle, in fact, it's not my paddle. But if you've seen my previous reviews, you know that I've reviewed 4 paddles in the past that are all my own personal paddles that I've purchased in my quest to find the paddle that will turn me into a 5.0 player. I'm looking for the magic wand, but I think it actually might be a wizard problem because I'm not even close to a 5.0. Now, I decided to review the Owl paddle because where I live on the Central Coast, these paddles are popping up all over my local courts. When they first came out a couple of years ago, I only knew of one player that was using it, but now they're all over the Monterey Peninsula. And that could be because one of our local courts in Carmel by the Sea was the first city in California, and maybe even the first city in the United States, to ban pickleball on their public courts due to noise complaints. Oh yeah, and shout out to Side Out Pickleball for sending me this awesome hoodie and these rad shirts. And I will put a link to Side Out Pickleball's website in the comments. Now, Owl paddles are made by the Canadian company Owl Sport, and they are the first ever pickleball paddles certified by USA Pickleball in the quiet category to actually address the problem that a lot of players are dealing with in terms of noise complaints. These paddles use their proprietary acoustine graphene surface to dampen the sound. And if I do this, you don't hear much because that is their felt covering that they use instead of grit. I'm not sure how you would weight these because it is felt all around, but I'm sure they have addressed that problem. This is the PX model that I'm borrowing. It is a 13 millimeter thick power paddle with a 4.6 inch handle length and a 4.06 inch grip with an average weight of 7.6 ounces. And as I've stated in past reviews, I gravitate towards lighter paddles with thin grips, and this paddle actually ticks both of those boxes. They also make an elongated version that comes in with a 5-inch long grip, but compared to most paddle brands, that is still really short. And then their new model, which is their Talent X1, is stated to come in with a 6-inch long handle length. So it seems like Owls makes either long or short length grips, but nothing really in between. So when I first started playing with this paddle, it did feel really odd. It didn't have the pop that I'm used to, and I did notice that if I didn't hit it right in this sweet spot, the ball seemed to just kind of fall off because there were some dead areas if you didn't hit the sweet spot. I also tried their control model with the same specs, just a little heavier and a little thicker. And I did notice that this control paddle did seem to have a bigger sweet spot. And I did kind of have to hit them both a lot harder or swing a lot harder to get any pop off of the face. But after a few games, I did enjoy playing with these paddles because they're really fun in the sense that you can frustrate opponents because of how deceptively quiet they are. In fact, when I've played with players that are playing against the Owl paddles, that is what they complain about the most, is the fact that they can't hear the ball coming off of the face, so it's harder to prepare their shots. So that is an advantage that you have when you're playing with these paddles. And they were named after the owl, who are unique predators that fly silently so they can catch their prey off guard. That's kind of what you're doing with this paddle, is catching your opponent off guard. So if you are looking for a silent predator paddle with a lot of spin, or if you live in a community that's intolerant to noise, this might be the right paddle for you. And if you are playing with the Owl paddle or against it and have anything to say about them, I would enjoy you dropping that in the comments. I'll catch you later.